Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, I just did part one and part two of our Q&A weekend, and this is part three, and this part three is more conspiracy related questions or questions I found that were more applicable to my mysteries channel. So I posted it on my main channel if you had any Q&A, and I didn't realize I'd got so many questions for the mysteries channel. Otherwise, I would have tagged everybody and saying, do you have any questions? Next time, I'll make sure that I give you guys a specific chance to ask your questions. But I thought this would be, I've never done a Q&A on this channel, so this will be really great for you to see how I do it. So for 2 or 3 days, I put up a community post, say, I'm doing a Q&A weekend, list all your questions. And as you can see, I get quite a few questions. And so let's just get started and you can see how this works. So I always give my members first chance at questions and then all the other viewers, and that's just a perk of being a member. All right. So here is a really interesting question. I'm curious to know, what will the first babies to be born on the moon be like? As their birth charts and astrology will need to be rewritten, as they have no moon sign, but an earth sign instead. And I thought about that and I thought, I don't know how to answer that. And I think that this is beyond my comprehension. I know a little bit about astrology. I'm taking an astrology course right now. I know the moon has a lot to do with your mother. So I don't know if the babies born on the moon won't have mothers. You're like, well, how can they not have mothers? And I'm thinking by the time we get to the moon, they'll be like incubators. And so they won't have real live mothers. They'll be born in like incubator kind of things. And yeah, but I agree with you. Astrology will need to be rewritten, as they will have no moon sign, but an earth sign instead. And then at what angle is that earth, and so on and so on. So that's the only thing I could think of, and I honestly don't know how to read this in tarot cards. I thought it was a fascinating question. I'm going to think about it, and if I ever come up with a way, then I will give this its own video because it's so interesting. All right, so let's go to our first question here. Greetings, my friend. Love your Q&As. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your kindness. My question is, what secrets are hidden from us in the Grand Canyon that the government doesn't want us to know? I thought that was fascinating. If you've ever seen the Grand Canyon, it's pretty magical. It's pretty magical. I don't believe it was formed over tens of thousands of millions of years. I believed it was formed during, look at that, the clock agrees with me. I think it was formed during a pole shift and a great flood, rushing water carved it out. And that's why we have Salt Lake still left. I believe when the earth tilted, all the water ran and it followed that and just carved it out over maybe a couple of thousand years, or maybe a couple of hundred, but not millions and millions. And that's why we have Great Salt Lake, is that's a bit of the ocean that was still left. Anyways, that's my theory. I'm sticking to it. But there has been Egyptian artifacts found in the Grand Canyon, and other anomalies. And let's just see, what are they trying to hide? I'm using the Voyager tarot. It's massive, but it has really cool iconography on it. And so I want to see what shows up. And some of the areas that Egyptian hieroglyphics and whatnot have been found, and I can see why the question was the government trying to hide. They actually, illumination, Ace of Wands, they actually block you from even hiking up there to go see them. You can't go. It's like a no-go zone. So why are they hiding it? Why can't they just put a fence and so people can at least see it? Okay, 10 of Worlds. Isn't that interesting? reward. I wonder if there's fancy schmancy coins and very valuable things. And also that's showing like legacy. Child of Wands, seeker. You know, this is interesting because the natives in the area really revere the area. Seven of Worlds, breakthrough. Breakthrough. Maybe that would be a breakthrough in the history of North America. Sage of Wands, seer. Seer and seeker. Look at more native iconography, even the Pinto there. These are huge. I got to back this up. Emperor. So this looks like Emperor. It does look like ancient Greek. Look at, there's the eagle for North America. Emperor. So there is something very old there. The Emperor. But I definitely look at the native iconography we've got here. And even like I said, the horse. It's sacred to them. It's a very sacred area to them. Brilliance, Ace of Crystals. I wonder if there's some kind of minerals in there that they're hiding. Delusion, 10 of Crystals. I wonder if there's like diamonds and emeralds, and there's a lot of that. Seven of Cups, fear. What would they be afraid of? I wonder when that was under the sea. Growth, 10 of Wands. Two of Worlds, reflection. And synthesis, 8 of Crystals. I'm getting that Sage of Worlds. I'm getting that there are very valuable, very, very valuable, like diamonds and gold, and I think that this is telling us like that was sacred to the tribes people around there. And I think that perhaps back in antiquity, somebody discovered it. Because look at, we even have money on this emperor and gold. And I'm wondering if way back when somebody discovered it, took some of the jewels and everything back, and left like the hieroglyphics to say, yeah, this is the spot. But I think that there's still lots there, and that's why they're protecting it. Right? There's the Lovers upright. So, for example, in our mountains, in our national parks, have billions of dollars. Apparently somebody figured it out. And if they could pull all the gold out of the Rocky Mountains in Canada, it'd be close to $1 trillion. And the reason that they are national parks, number one, to keep the beauty of them. And number two, it's to keep people from mining the gold, because it's a national park and you're not allowed to destroy it. That's what I've heard from some gold bugs. Also, putting that much gold into the world all at once would collapse the gold market. So, anyways, that's what I've heard from some of the people. Player, Child of Worlds. Yeah, we're getting a lot of native, tribal. I honestly think that they're keeping it hush because they don't want the rush of people to go there and destroy it to get the crystals. And maybe there's some of like those earth elements out of it, right? Because you think the walls of the canyon are exposed. How easy would that be to start digging and getting, like, you're already down. You just have to go now sideways to get at it. even this one has gold on it. And a lot of gold is still in that area. Still in that area. 6 of worlds, more worlds. Now, yeah, we have to remember worlds are pentacles. So there's something about money here. And I think it has something to do with crystals and gold and what's in the earth itself. I'm not getting that it has anything really to do with, ancient culture there at all. I think they've discovered that if they tell people what is there, that there's diamonds there and that there's, emeralds and diamonds and the gold and silver and all of that. I think they're worried that that it would become destroyed. And I'm wondering if some of those ancient leaders that were there, like the hieroglyphics that they left, were more of like a directions of where, where to dig or where to write, or they just left, instructions kind of behind for the next group to come up and because you have to think that would take months and months, probably years to get to. And once you get there, you have to know the directions where to get the gold and the diamonds and whatnot. Like, you have to remember, like, ancient Egypt, they love their gold. Like, if you ever been to the Cairo Museum, well, it's now called the Great Museum. The gold that's on King Tut's burial and items, and like even his chair was gold plated, and like, where did they get all that gold? Like, think about that. Time, space. See, now this is kind of what I was looking for. Like, this actually has some of this could be Utah and around there. To me, this is telling me that this was another time and another space, that these people were here and they came for the gold, they came for the crystals, and they left, and they told people about it. And we have to remember, Cortez, wasn't he looking for El Dorado? And he thought when he hit North America, South America, El Dorado, and also came stories from the natives. And so I'm wondering if this is part of the El Dorado that he was looking for. And when they saw the native people, he thought he was on the right path. Maybe El Dorado was the Grand Canyon. And that's why the government is protecting it. 5 of crystals. Yeah, there's all kinds of different minerals and crystals in there. And especially maybe today with all the rare earth minerals that we need. Narrowness. It's also, it also is very narrow to get into. But look at all the crystals and world. So this is telling me it's crystals in the earth. That's what they're protecting. We aren't getting a lot of people. We have the native people there who have big stories about the Grand Canyon. They revere it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they saw these people long ago. Who knows? That's what I mean, like time and space. This is from a time ago. Maybe this was like back when Atlanteans came and they took all that to Egypt, etc., right? It's a very, very long time ago that they were there. And then that's why it's hieroglyphics, because the hieroglyphics started in Atlantis and then went to Egypt. But we have the moon here. I'm going to end this on the moon. Interesting. We have the Greek face here and Athena here. We have Apollo and Athena. So was it space creatures who came and wanted the gold? Right? Time and space. And is there the what is it, theory that the Nephilim came down, or interbred and just wanted workers to dig up gold. And I'm not sure I believe any of that, but there's something here. There's something here with this. I think there's a coyote there. That's why I like this deck. All the iconography, you can pull things out of it, what the universe is trying to tell you. So that's all it is. They aren't hiding any kind of ancient secrets or secrets about Atlantis or anything. They're protecting the area from people mining it. I think it would be destroyed quite quickly if it was discovered how much, because all we kept getting were crystals and earth. So it would be destroyed in a quite quick heartbeat if people discovered how much value was in the Grand Canyon. So great question. Okay. What will happen with the United Nations in the next year, if anything? And that's an interesting question, because I, in my 2024 prediction, said the United Nations could split up, or the leader might change, or anything. So let's do a quick question here. What about the United Nations? United Nations. What can you tell us about United Nations? What can you tell us about United Nations? Cards are ready. Not involved, unaware. I think most people are unaware of what's going on. Repeat offender. Oh, good. Digital footprint. Media or social media. Star, hidden clues, breakthrough. Something's going to be exposed. Something is going to be exposed about something that goes on. Ransom or note left. Yeah, somebody's going to find some kind of email or something, and it's in a repeat offender. So it's going to be somebody, it's something that they've already done once. A hostage or trade, out of the picture. I think that their chariot, vehicle or moved, devil. I think there's going to be something exposing the United Nations. I think there's going to be some kind of email or some kind of communications that they, Empress, Mother, this is very female energy, wrong direction. I think there's going to be something about the women. So I know the United Nations has different sections, and I think something to do with women. And they have a couple of different things, like, for the advancement of women, or equality for women, or something like that, is going to come out. A big controversy about that is definitely going to come out. We've got too many females on here, and we might even hear like of a bullying situation or some such thing. That's what this digital footprint or email or something that shows up in the media, that perhaps that one person we're bullying like staff and whatnot, especially because we have this Empress here. And I think she's actually going to be innocent, because we have wrong direction here. I think there's somebody who, with this devil, I think they just don't like this person and they want her out, and they want to put in their own person. So I think that's what's going to happen. But are they dissolving? No, unfortunately not. I think there's going to be something to do with the women, or one of the departments that a woman is running, and they are going to oust her to bring in her own person. But believe it or not, she's innocent. Okay. Will any world politician be able to expose George Soros and or his son interference in global politics? Let's hope so. I want to do the predictions deck for this. Let's do the predictions deck for this. Good old George Soros. What a creep. Did I say that out loud? Okay, George Soros. Will any politician ever have the kahunas to expose George Soros and his grip on global politics? Will any politician, and we're starting to get some braver politicians, and let's see, obviously not the current puppets like Trudeau and Macron and Starmer, obviously not them, but we'll see. Maybe if Trump wins, maybe he will. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get the predictions here. Will George Soros ever be exposed by a politician? George Soros and his son. I actually think his son is probably worse. Distraction illusion. I'm going to put this back so you can see it. Disappointing outcome. Uprising, rebellion. I think they're going to be more concerned about their own country's assistance, help, holding power. No, unfortunately, nobody will. I think what it is they're going to be so wrapped up in their own uprising and rebellion, they're not going to really care about George Soros, to tell you the truth. He's still going to hold power. Worldwide, yeah. Worldwide, disappointing outcome, yeah. There he is. The devil incarnate. Politicians, government. Yeah, I'm thinking all they're concerned about is holding their own power because their citizens are uprising. Strategy, planning. Well, that's what he does. Military plane. Rockets, SpaceX. Ooh, maybe Elon. Maybe Elon will expose him. Offering donation. Hiding something. You know what? He has a lot of these politicians in his pocket. Here's this offering donation. I think it's a distraction illusion that the politicians actually run things. He actually holds a lot of power, and I think there's too much money involved, this donation, this offering, this donation, and, I'll pay for your prosecutors. All right. But they have to prosecute in the way I want. George Soros, his group has been outed as interfering with politics in Canada. Now, this is interesting. Military plane and SpaceX rockets. I'm wondering if hiding something. I'm wondering if Elon is going to do something. Because Elon has just as much money as he does. I think George Soros has more money than they're saying. I think he's got unlimited funds. Otherwise, why would you? Who cares? You're going to die. Who cares about what prosecutor is doing what? I think he's being watched. I think they're watching him, or he's watching us. But I think I'm getting that there's like surveillance here, hiding something. The greater good. Well, that's what they always say. The greater good. Evidence of a scandal. That almost looks like his son. Surveillance record. See, fire, heat wave, foreign occupation. Well, that's his whole MO, isn't it? I think he's behind the foreign occupation. I think he's behind a lot of the uprisings, and you know what? I think that military plane and SpaceX, I think this evidence and surveillance and the greater good, I think he's got that on the politicians. I think he's got that on the politicians, hiding something, the greater good. So the greater good that I can buy your prosecutors. Otherwise, I'm going to show the pictures of you with this little girl. But he's behind all of that. Great question. So no, they aren't. He holds too much power. Will Kamala Harris's non-African American heritage be exposed by MSM prior to the US election? Well, let's stick with the predictions deck. Now, I thought that question was really interesting because they actually are in kind of denial that she is of Indian heritage, of the country India, not what we call Indians in North America. Well, we don't anymore, but some people still do. And the Jamaica part, I believe her father's white. So this is a very interesting, I didn't think I thought everybody knew that, but apparently not. They're still calling her a black woman on MSM. So before the election, will they expose her true heritage? And why aren't people like doing their own investigation and thinking? It blows my mind. Again, not an opinion about who should win the election. I'm just talking out loud. Like, yeah, look, she looks more East Indian to me than black, but what do I know? All right. Cards are ready. Will MSN expose her before the election? Replace or exchange? Banking, currency, spreading, mutating, disappointing outcome, rescue, revived. Look at that. What is going on? I don't think so. Tension escalates on the banking and currency. Battle warship. Unexpected result. Worldwide Earth. Rulership handover. And AI tech. No, they will not. Moon, no, unclear. No, they will not. No, nope, and nope. All right. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so here was the one I was talking about. Are the Nephilim still here on Earth? If yes, where can they be found? How fun. Thank you for offering to your viewers. Okay, the Nephilim. Are they still here on Earth? And that's I believe that's the ones that people say they came here to get gold, to mine gold. And some of them reproduced with the females. I think so. Sorry. The Nephilim, are they still here on Earth? Maybe they were the ones who had the hieroglyphs, so that's why they were in the Grand Canyon and in Egypt. The Nephilim, are they still here on Earth? And if yes, where can they be found? These cards are so huge. If yes, where can they be found? If yes, where can they be found? Time, space. Oh, yes, they did come from space. Isn't that interesting? 9 of crystals, narrowness. 7 of cups, fear. People were I think they were tall and skinny. 7 of wands, courage. 4 of crystals, logic. Let's back that up so you can see that. They're quite big cards. What do we see here? Look at this, is like the native people of the world. Right? The totem poles, here's some of the other tribal, African. Four of crystals. Logic. Oh, they came from space. Seven of Woman of Worlds, preserver. There they are, getting the women pregnant. Maybe that is true. See what I mean? The iconography on this. Man of Cups, surfer. Look at that. And Seven of Cups, water. Two of crystals, equanimity. Six of Cups, sorrow. I don't think they're still here. Child of Cups, feeler. I wonder if their DNA lives on. Brilliance, Ace of Crystals. I don't think they're here. I'm not getting that they're here. I'm getting that they were here. I'm getting that they did breed with women. I'm getting that they absolutely took stuff from the earth. Crystals, like maybe quartz crystal, because that's, runs timepieces and whatnot. Also needed for computing and whatnot, quartz. Nine of Wands, integrity. Look at that, I just realized that's the World Trade Center. Four of Wands, aspiration, United States. Isn't that like, there we have Statue of Liberty. I noticed that was the World Trade Center. Ace of Wands, illumination. Sage of Crystals, knower. Five of Worlds, setback. And Hanged Man. You know what? I don't think they are here per se. I think that their DNA lives on. Right? We got a couple of hands here. I'm wondering if, because Hanged Man, that would tell me that they're stuck here, right? But I'm not getting like the community. There's some community things here. I'm getting that they are here through interbreeding with some women. Maybe like some of our really extremely intelligent people. Look at that. There, the clock is agreeing with me. Maybe the ones that stand out, like Tesla and Einstein and just a lot of Benjamin Franklin and a lot of our very intelligent people that moved things forward have their DNA in them. I think they were here to get some of our stuff in our land. Like, I think they were here for mining. Perhaps because we see U.S. here, perhaps they were the ones who were at the Grand Canyon. Maybe I was right about that. But I think they got everything they needed. If you look at some of these cards, it's desert. So I'm getting that they got what they needed and then they left. But they left some of their DNA behind. And that perhaps is maybe some of why some people rise to the top in any kind of scientific discovery, that kind of thing. That's what I'm getting, especially when it comes to building. Maybe the tall buildings are a byproduct of them being here. Great question, though. Okay. There's a certain percentage of the ocean that still hasn't been explored. Will new species or lost civilization be discovered in those areas? Woohoo, I love this question. I love this question. All right. That's clear. Yes, and that's so true. There's lots of the ocean that has never been explored. And when I did my Antarctica, it showed that there's people living under Antarctica. I did a 5-part series on that. So just search on Antarctica or go back way to the beginning of this channel and you'll find the 5-part series I did on Antarctica. Okay. Well, I think like new species are being discovered all the time. You know, and you read about, a new deer species has been discovered. I'm like, how did they miss a deer? Like, but there's lots of big jungles still left on Earth. Don't let them fool you. Well, will we discover? Let's give this a time. Let's say in the next 10 years, will we discover a lost civilization deep in the ocean or a completely new species of animal? Let's give it 3 of crystals, creativity. Priestess. Well, we have a blue looking dolphin there. Wonder if they have and they're keeping it a secret. You know, it's interesting. I was kind of looking for this card for when we were doing the Grand Canyon. And remember I said it was under the sea and the earth tilted and it all ran out at the same time and created the Grand Canyon. And then we have the Egyptian stuff there. I wonder if they already have, because that was at one point under the sea. Sage of Worlds, Master. Lovers. And Ace of Worlds, Success. Interesting, we don't have water cards here, but we do have worlds. So like a whole world of people, or have they already discovered them and they haven't said anything? More Egyptian iconography here. Strength. Not much water. Chariot. More ancient. Now this is in space. Look at more ancient Egyptian stuff. Nine of Worlds, Harvest. We aren't getting a lot of water stuff, are we? But here what I'm thinking, I'm wondering by them showing this ancient stuff, if there is a lost civilization down there that we'll find that is ancient, like ancient Egypt. Hierophant. Four of Cups, anger. Devil's play. You know, we didn't get any water cards. Let's see what's underlying here. Six of Wands, trust. I'm getting that inventor, man of crystals. I'm getting that no. We aren't. Because there are a lot of really good water cards here. Art. Eight of Worlds. Change. And the Moon. And the Seven of Worlds. Breakthrough. So I'm wondering if the worlds, we have so many worlds here, if it's a new world underwater, but I was looking for water and water world, right? And we just aren't getting it. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. And I'm not reading these cards. I just want to show you there's some really good water cards in here. Honest, there is. Oh, for Pete's sake. There's people with and water, right? Look at all the honestly, there is. Where are all my water cards? Even death has water on it. Where are all the water cards? There we go. There's all the water cards. Look at that. They were all way at the bottom. Isn't that strange? We were never to get to them. Look at, there's all the water cards. So, no, I'm going to say no. There's really maybe the odd species we'll still find, but I think we've discovered all the worlds. I think with all the ancient Egyptian iconography on there, I think we can safely say we've discovered all the worlds. All right. Now this was actually a really good question. Not a member, but I have a question about something you mentioned during the Liam Payne reading. You mentioned something about 3 days before the deceased realizing that they've crossed over. How does this affect those who become organ donors? Now, my general thought on that is I believe you have to still be alive to be an organ donor, but brain dead. And so you haven't died yet, but I don't think it affects organ donors. Let's say you have passed on and, you might see yourself being operated on and you wouldn't know what it was. It would be the same, if the person was in a bad car accident, lost an arm, or you're in a fire and you burn. It's kind of shocking to see your body, but in some respects it helps you realize you're now separated from your body. And you don't feel any pain or anything. I think it's more curiosity. It won't. I don't believe it affects them. It's just it generally takes people anywhere from 48 to 72 hours to realize. Not everybody, but this is just the general thinking, to realize that you have left your body and you're very disoriented. So I want you to think think of the difference of, you're wearing really heavy boots or you're in, the swimming pool in the water and you're kind of buoyant. Well, you all of a sudden you don't have this heavy meat suit anymore. And it takes a while to orientate. You quickly remember. It's like riding a bike because you've done this before. It just takes you a while to figure out which way's up and what's going on. And once you see your family crying and whatnot, then it starts to hit you what has happened. And it's not bad. It's not terrifying. It's nothing like that. It's more curiosity. And a lot of people who come back who have what's called near-death experiences, and it's not a near-death experience, it's a near subconscious experience, feel a lot of love and whatnot. But it takes you a minute to realize your silver cord has been cut and you aren't coming back into your body. And I would think that in some respects, it would help you know you aren't coming back into your body and make you feel good that you're helping other people. But yeah, it'd be no different if you're in, a car accident and you died and you lost an arm, or a fire and you burnt to death. I mean, you realize it was just your body. But that was the general reason why a lot of religions don't bury you for 3 days, so you can get that orientation, so you know what's going on. Yeah. All right. That was a great question. Okay. I think that's it. Let me see. Let me just quickly go over. Yeah. So that is the Q&A. And like I said, next time I'll make sure I either start it on this page or tag this page so you can ask your questions. And feel free in the comments to ask questions at any time. And if I feel it would be beneficial for a lot of our viewers, I will get to it. So thank you so much. Thank you for being members. Thank you for all your views, your likes, all of it, your comments. I appreciate you all so much. I love this channel. I have a lot of fun on this channel, as my other one, but this one's kind of more brain expansive. Let's put it that way. Makes you think a little bit more. Please take good care. See you online. Bye for now.